I like their governor better.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Where are we? Hey, Sherry, I'm looking at all the buttons and we are live. And
Are we
that means that it
live?
must be Wednesday.
It is. I'm so excited I get to hang out with Terry Ann on Wednesdays. Oh my goodness. How much fun is that?
This is our Wednesday. And I see you've got a little buddy behind you.
I do.
I tell you what, let's introduce her after we introduce us. We'll make it all official. Well, let's go ahead and get started then. It is Wednesday. All of the little buttons are flashing and saying we're okay. So welcome. Welcome to Conversations with Sherry and Terry Ann. I am Terry Ann Porter, life coach, TA. It is time to defeat those lies of negative self-talk by changing your perspective, exploring new possibilities, opening pathways onto which you can choose to proceed in truth. My co-host, as always, the amazing Sherry Berger.
Good morning. Good morning. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Sherry Berger, and I am the owner of Here to There Consulting. We educate business owners with those tools to balance life, business, and finances, because our mission is to help you create the life and business that you deserve. Welcome, welcome. I'm so excited to be here today.
Sherry, who's your little friend in the background?
Oh, well, today I have Pam.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, Pam.
Pam is visiting from Indiana.
Yeah.
Because today is a very, very special day. I'm going to Topeka after we meet today. So she's here to come to my award ceremony in Topeka. So
you have an award ceremony? What is this
do.
award for?
I'm going to go hang out with Governor Kelly this morning or this afternoon for lunch. So yeah, I was nominated and I won the Kansas City Business Women Advocate of the Year Award.
Kansas City or Kansas?
Kansas City.
Oh.
That's why we're going to Topeka for our governor, Kelly, Kansas City. So yeah, Kelly will actually be presenting me the award, Governor Kelly. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, and so I was nominated, which I was shocked when I got nominated for Kansas City Business Women Advocate of the Year. So you can imagine when I got a phone call saying that I had won Kansas City Business Advocate of the Year. So yes, Pam is coming along with me to the award ceremony for lunch today.
You thought it was Kansas City, but it's actually the state of Kansas.
That's what I thought.
Oh, it is Kansas, the state of Kansas.
Not Kansas City. It's Kansas.
It's the state
Business
of Kansas.
Advocate of the Year.
It is the
Women's
state
Business
of Kansas.
Advocate.
That's why we're going to.
All right. So
very
nice. How exciting.
Coming from the Department of Commerce of Kansas, from the state of Kansas. So that's why it's located in Topeka, and that's why Governor Kelly will be there presenting those awards. So it'll be pretty fun, and I'm really excited about that. And then tomorrow, I'm having a celebration after party from 5 to 7 for all of my Kansas City, except for it's on Zoom. So I have some clients even coming in from Zoom. But yeah, for those people that can't be in Topeka today, well, and for us that are, right? So it'll be great. We're going to have a great celebration tomorrow from 5 to 7. And then I have 10 sponsors. So I have 10 different businesses that will be highlighted tomorrow too. So it'll be a really great event. We'll get food from 5 to 5:30. The event starts at 5:30. And I'll get over at 6:45 because we will make sure we give you more time to network. So we're expecting a really good turnout, and it'll be at the ACA Business Club. So if you need any more information, though, you can always contact me, and I can give that to you. But that's what's going on with me in the next 2 days. Pretty exciting. But today we're supposed to be talking about you, and we're supposed to be talking about how you measure your success. So I'd love to ask the audience how they measure their success. How do you measure your success when you set up a goal? Remember, we were talking about SMART goals. So we got our S for Pacific. Did I say the word right?
Specific, yes.
Specific. So now we want to talk about being measurable. How are you going to measure those? And how do you know when you're successful? So what are some of the measurements? What are some of the things that you're working on right now, Terry Ann?
I've got several things going on right now. I am preparing a presentation in January for an online summit that will be announced next month.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm working on, for another company, a series of videos on dealing with chronic pain as the person who has the pain and as the co-workers or employers of the person with chronic pain.
Oh, that's cool.
So
how are you going to know when you meet those goals? Where's your measurable in that?
My measurable in that is as I move along, because it will be several different parts. I now have this video done. I now have this video done. So I'm working on the final scripts so that I can start to say the first video is done. And I hope to have the first video done actually by the weekend. And that will be my first checkoff mark. I love checkoffs. So if I don't know how many parts yet are going to be in this series. So we'll take how many there are. I could scratch that one off. Let's go on to the next one.
And that's so good, right? To have a to-do list and a checkoff
Yes.
when you're trying to meet a goal. So I just did that. I finally have nailed out my rough draft of my book. And I have a team of people working with me on it. And so then yesterday I did take a few minutes to figure out when is the book getting published and what is left to do. So now I have it where December 10th, it should be ready to go to the publisher. So just
Very
to,
nice.
go out and map out, because how do we eat an elephant? One bite at a time. And sometimes we've got to map it out. So when I was doing my rough copy of it and I had my team working with me, like I said, I mapped it out and needed to be done by September 17th. I think it ended up being a little 3 weeks late, but how much later would have been if I didn't have deadline?
Right.
Because sometimes we got to be flexible and we got to change. Things happen in life.
Mm-hmm.
My grandson got baptized. There was a lot of things that happened. And then some of my people that were working for me got sick or whatever happens. So you got to have an end deadline, but then be flexible. And so I've mapped out so that my book launch can still happen. And then I've even put it on tentatively for January 27th, my book launch. So I have all that in place, like you said. And with your video thing, you're just putting it in place. And I love what you're doing right now. You are actually telling us that you're going to be speaking and only giving the part of information that you can. So. And Grace says, you go, Terry Ann, because you got it and you got the date. So there you go.
Thank you, Grace.
So right? When we have the date and we have the deadline, and if we have to, like I just talked about, making our own deadlines, that's important.
Dates, deadlines. I know some people who, and these people drive me crazy. They've set a deadline. And then just as it's approaching, all of a sudden now it's work, rush, because I got to meet this deadline. But everybody has a different personality. And then that person gets it done and gets it done well. I don't work that way. I have the deadline and then I have different steps along the way, which I need to break it down into steps for me to proceed. Because if I don't break it down in steps, I get overwhelmed. And all I see is the big picture. And that big picture it will paralyze me. So I need to break it down for myself so that I can say, yes, this is a puzzle. These are the pieces that are making the border. Okay, got the border done. Now I'm going to work on this portion of it. Then I can move forward. But everybody's got a different way to do it. Which method works best for you, Sherry?
Well, I think what works best for everybody, not just me, though, is to not just have I'm going to get my book published or my book launched this January 27th, but to backstep and make sure that chapter 1, or as you're doing, video 1 will be done at this time. And so seeing those small successes along the way, I think it's so important for everybody, even if you are a last minute. And if you are a last minute person like that, I think it's really important that you make sure you have a deadline for each. What you want to call them, step or bite. Yours is videos that you're talking about, getting the videos together for this big event. And I'm talking about chapters. But if you break them down into those small little bites, it's so important.
The Facebook user says, yes, it's like a quilt, putting the different pieces together. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Well, and the reason why you're listed as Facebook user is because StreamYard and Facebook don't like to.
Facebook wants to make sure that they have your permission to show your name. If you wish, you can go to a different tab. Don't close the tab we're in. Don't leave us. But open up a different tab. Go to StreamYard.com/Facebook and accept. And then Facebook will then have permission to show us your name if you wish. Oh, good point, Sherry. Plan it backwards. Yes, that's a lot of what it is.
The funny thing is you say that with my book, but I was speaking earlier, I did the opposite. We can plan it backwards or we can plan it forward. I was telling people I just finished my rough draft of my book. And then I was like, when am I going to get this published? Because now I got to figure out. So then I can have my launch date. And so I did 1 chapter a week to rework my book, which I think I can do a little bit faster than that. But I wanted to give myself enough time. And then I came up with December 10th. It will be published. And then from there, you could do January 27th.
And then the next important thing, I think, is we ask the question, how will you measure your success? As you've got the different levels, you've got your big picture over here. How are you celebrating as you complete different portions of it? Do you wait until the very end and say, okay, now I can celebrate, it's all done? Or do you celebrate even the little steps along the way, the little goals? Break goals down into tasks like step 1, step 2, so on. That's exactly the direction we're going. Then how do you celebrate? Do you celebrate along the way? Oh, I got this part done. I'm going to stop and take a breather. I'm going to sit on maybe, for example, something I would like to do. I'm going to sit on the back deck. I'm going to get my tea. And I'm just going to sit out here and enjoy the beautiful fall weather for a while and not do any technology. To me, that's a celebration. It could be a bigger event along the way. What are some ways that you like to celebrate personally different accomplishments that you've made?
I like to celebrate the milestones.
You like the milestone? Mm-hmm. How do you celebrate? How?
With something for my me time.
Okay.
Some special set aside time for me.
Okay.
Because that's something that, when you're focusing on your goals and you're working towards your goals and you're looking at time management, one of the most frequently given up time frames is our time for ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
That's usually one of the sacrifices that we give up. So when I reach a milestone, that's my time frame. That's my time.
Good.
And I think that's so important in time management that we don't give up, our own time for like self-care or walking or just to even go out with your friends or whatever. But I want to go back to what Grace just said too. Do what makes you Grace said something else, but she said something before that and you shared it. Celebrate as you go. Don't wait until you get the big goal or you might get discouraged. And the thing with if we don't
that
do
was
those,
the one, yes.
Huh? If we don't celebrate along our way, like I was telling Terry Ann, I'm working on getting my health back in order. I've lost 6 pounds. And I had somebody say, well, if you weren't stressed out, you probably would have lost 12 pounds. And I'm like, no, because the scale's going down. It's not going up. And why she was saying stressed out is just because I've had a lot to do to plan my big award thing that's going on and some other things. And so I've been very, very busy. But just because I've been busy doesn't mean I don't stop, right? Try to eat right, log my food, do what I need to do in that area of my life. And then Grace said something else that's really, what else did she say down here?
Do what makes you feel good, no matter how small. Make it a celebration of your life and accomplishments. And
so that's important. I know,
like the next one.
Spin fire. If you go, what is it called? Go run around the block, or what do you want to go do? A lot of times I'll tell myself that I can't. Friends of mine will have a happy hour or some coffee event or whatever's going on. And I say, if I get all this done, then I can go attend and hang out. If I don't, my natural consequences, I got to get this done by the end of the day. So it's almost a, you know what I mean? I feel like I'm in a time crunch because if I want to go meet with somebody at 4:00, I'm either going to do it or I'm not, based on if I accomplish all the goals that were set for me that I have to get done before I can go do that. So if you look at it that way, because I'm all about playing and hanging out with people, right? So that's what I do.
And as you had the one person make the comment, oh, well, you could have done better. There's always going to be that one person who, while you are celebrating your accomplishment, is going to get that little underhanded dig. Or as my daughter, I love to hear my daughter, she says, that's not a compliment. So yeah, don't let that dig be what you focus on. You can have 10 people congratulate you, but that one dig is what you're going to hold on to. So.
Well, I don't think that person meant it in a bad way. They were trying to be positive, but it just doesn't come across as positive.
Right.
And sometimes you have to realize that, and you have to say, oh, that person's trying to be encouraging and be positive. And what they just said maybe is not, and as you would say, change your perspective, not as positive as you would like it to be, right? They were trying to be encouraging, but that could be discouraging. So to realize if somebody says, hey, I lost 6 pounds, or hey, which isn't, it's not usually noticeable, right? But I'm looking at, what did I tell you, Terry Ann? If I lose 4 more pounds, I would hit the 10 pounds.
Right.
So and I'm looking at the scales going down, not up, because I'm at this point in my life right now, what I got going on, I'm just trying to be reasonable where I'm at. Now, maybe I need to set a goal of, I'm going to lose this much weight but right now my goal is to eat better, do what I need to do, and be losing weight or at least maintaining. So that's what I want to do right now, because I got a lot going on. And that is not a bad goal for yourself. If that's what your simple goal is, it's not lose 50, 60 pounds by December or whatever. I'm just saying between now and the end of the year, what Sherry Berger wants to do is to maintain or lose weight and just try to be a little bit more, aware of what I'm doing as far as walking and eating right. And that's okay if that's what you want to do. But that's what I want to do. Maybe you want to lose 50 pounds by the end of the year. That's great. Go do that. And so to realize that that's okay, that Terry Ann wants to do something different than I do, or Sally or Pam, because Pam's sitting here. But I'm saying just realize that that's okay. Walking around from the dig, as it might not be a dig, but their own insecurity in their voices. Yeah, and if the person was trying to be mean, this person was not trying to be mean, but I just
and that's a good perspective,
encouraging. But yeah, sometimes, what is it called?
We just have to walk away. Sometimes it's their own insecurity
to walk away. But a lot of times, hurting people hurt people, right? If somebody's being mean, this person wasn't trying to be mean, but sometimes people are trying to be mean. And
that's a
actually,
good
this morning I was having coffee with Pam, and it was too funny because we were talking about, if you have bad things going on in your life, you can find out who your cheerleaders and supporters are. But if you have something big going on in your life, like right now, I won an award. If something big happens in your life, you can find out who your supporters or cheerleaders are. Because either way, you can get people that, what do you want to call it, are negative or not supportive. And then you get people that, are like, oh, congratulations, which is great. But I'm saying there are people that are not kind in either situation. And so it's interesting to watch that.
And it's important, I think, what you mentioned, is looking at when people make comments. What was their intention? Maybe it just came out wrong. So looking at it instead of immediately saying, oh, that person said something that may or may not be a dig. What did that person intend? And so that's changing your own perspective as to how you're receiving it. Makes a big difference.
Or walking away, like Grace is saying, or just realizing that person's having a bad day. It's not even about you. So I think sometimes we take things personally when we need to not be taking them personally.
I know sometimes my husband, when I'm in a lot of pain, I will often get very quiet and withdraw. And he's gotten to where he now says, okay, is this a pain thing? Or did I say something to upset you? I just need to know which direction it is so I know how to respond. And I love that we've got to where he can say that I can absolutely respond back with, hey, you just, this hurt, or no, I'm hurting. But the clarification and the understanding of the perspective on both sides makes a big difference. Communication. So as far as the success goes, got the big picture. We're breaking it down into small pieces. We're celebrating along the way. How will you know when you have completed your goal? For example, Sherry, is the goal getting it published? Is that the final goal?
I think it is to get it, but my final goal would probably be my book launch, which I'm going to have more than one, right? Or more, whatever. But I think that's my final goal, is to get it published and then do the book launch. So I don't know that, but those are steps.
Right.
Those are steps that you're at. So I'm getting it published so I can do the book launch.
So how will you celebrate that book launch?
Well, I'm having a huge party celebration that night of my book launch. So that'll be a big accomplishment. Right. And then I know I'm sending like a copy of the book to Gerald's, my second dad, Gerald's wife. And I got some other things like that I've already planned. So I think when we do something big that we've planned, then that's, we know that we're going to set up these celebration milestones.
Very good. Very good. How, people who are listening in, joining in, and even if it's on a replay, type it in the comments, type in the word replay and give us your response. How do you measure along the way what you do for yourself? And how do you know when you've completed your goal? How do you know that you've completed it? And how are you going to celebrate that? I know that's a lot of questions, but that's okay.
So when people watch the replay, you want them to do hashtag replay, right? Yeah, that way we know when people come back and watch the replay.
So, okay.
So I was thinking that'd be good if people started putting hashtag replay when they watch a replay. So it'd be very helpful. In saying that, conversations with Sherry and Terry Ann are on both of our YouTube channels. So if you have not subscribed to Here to There Consulting, then you should probably subscribe. But I have a bigger request. My big request is, if you have not subscribed to Terry Ann's YouTube channel, what is your YouTube channel, Terry Ann?
It's a big, long, complicated number right now, but if you search Life Coach TA, you should be able to find me.
Yeah, and so we will drop both of the YouTube channels in there. We both have great tips and tricks in there, but Terry Ann is asking this because she has a goal that she would love to hit by the end of October. Is that when your goal is? You didn't tell me your goal. I'm making one up for you. By November 1st, she needs 5 more people to subscribe to her YouTube channel so that she can own the channel. It's silly. YouTube, of course, has to play with its own rules, and you have to have 100 subscribers to own your channel. So if you could do that for Terry Ann, that would be great. And if you'd subscribe to mine, it's always good to have more subscribers. But yeah, if you could do that, that's one of her goals. So if we could help Terry Ann out with that. And all of the replays, all of these conversations are on our YouTube channels. So if you're not on them, and we had another comment.
There we go. Let me know when the book will be published. I'll make time to cater the party. Well, you've already got a caterer lined up.
Well, that is my sister-in-law, Marinella. And yes, she's really, really good at catering. And she does catering and bake. Yeah, I think she does cakes, but she definitely does catering. And she's phenomenal at that. So yeah, that is my sister-in-law, Marinella. So Yes, we will bug you for that. Yeah. So write it on your calendar, Marinella. We're tentatively set up for the 27th of January. So that is when we will be doing our party. And tomorrow is my award party from 5 to 7 at the ACA Business Club. And so I want to make sure to invite everybody to come to that event. There'll be some important people there too, besides just me. But anyway,
there's somebody more important than you at this moment.
I know. And then we have 10 sponsors, and Pam's actually in town just to be at the award. So if you haven't met Pam, she will be there. And so, yeah, it should be a very fun celebration event. This is not a goal that I set out to achieve, though, to win this award.
No, but it's a success along the way.
It is. And sometimes
unexpected success,
right? When you're set out a goal. My goal 18 months ago, when the world shut down, I cried for 2 weeks. I didn't know what to do. I finally decided to breathe. I prayed about it, and I decided to go help as many small to mid-sized businesses as I could. Mm-hmm. So I've been on a mission for the last 18 months to do that. And you got to be careful when you're hitting those goals and you're maintaining. I didn't know. How do I know when I hit that goal, by the way, Terry Ann? I wasn't sure. I just knew I wanted to do the right thing through the pandemic, and so many small and mid-sized businesses were hurting. And Kansas City, Kansas as a whole, is not that big. It really is, but it's not. Be careful, people are watching you. And so I end up winning the Kansas City business.
No, the Kansas business.
Yeah, Kansas.
Women's business advocate.
Yeah, it's the state of Kansas. That's why I'm going to go hang out with the governor, Governor Kelly. Man, her and I are doing lunch. Wanted to do coffee afterwards. You didn't say hi to her.
Make sure we take the award out to the car first.
Well, this is a very exciting and well-deserved award. And it's like I said, it wasn't your end goal, but it is an unexpected celebration on your path.
But I'm not sure in that situation what my end goal was. My goal was to just try to get through the pandemic and make it about others and helping others along the way. And I have great skill sets in business to be able to go out and help people pivot and change. And and some people were willing, and some people you could help, and other people didn't want the help. And I built my clientele along the way, and I lost some clients along the way. It's a pretty interesting journey when you just decide that this is what I'm going to do. This is what I think's right. And you just go do your own journey. And I think everybody in life should do that. Stand up for what you think is right. And Kansas is amazing. I don't know about you Missouri people, but whatever. We can argue about coffee and tea and Missouri and Kansas. But Missouri and Kansas are so close together. But I'm saying our community here in Kansas is amazing. So if you go out and spread your gifts, your abilities, use your goals and your objectives to help other people, how much better could the world be in general? So anyway, my challenge this week is to go find out what that goal is and what do you want to accomplish and how are you going to measure it when you get there?
And come back, comment, go into the comments, say, hey, I took up your challenge and this is my goal or this is my measurement. So it doesn't have to end when we say goodbye. Come on back to the replays or either of our YouTube channels and make some comments. We always want to hear as long as you stay on topic. Big thing. Stay on topic. With that being said, Sherry,
go make it a great day. I'm heading to Topeka. I will be back with an award, but you guys go make it a great day, and I will see everybody next Wednesday. Have a blessed day. Bye, guys.
Post pictures. I want to see them. Bye.